This riff sounds simple, but there are a few little things that we're going to throw in that's going to give it that extra edge. What you just heard is not overly complex, but there are these few little things that we're throwing in that keep the riff from sounding bland and lifeless. So I'm going to throw up the tabs. We're going to go over this step by step. I'll show you exactly what we're doing and, of course, how you can apply those to your own riffs. By the way, if you're part of my Guitar Academy, you have the tabs and the backing tracks for this riff. So make sure you log in and download those. There are 4 sections in the riff, but one of those repeats itself. So we start out, I'm in standard tuning, of course. We start out with a power chord. We strike the power chord, right? The open A, the D string, 2nd fret, but then we only palm mute the open A string. Now, the reason why I do this in a lot of cases when I'm palm muting is because it gives you a little bit tighter sound. If we were to palm mute both strings of that power chord, as opposed to, neither one of those are wrong. And actually out in the open here, the full power chord palm muting sounds a little bit cooler because it's beefier. However, when you put everything into the full mix, 2 rhythm guitars, panned, right, left, and then you have the bass and the drums and so forth, that open string, that one note palm muted, sometimes that can sound a little bit tighter. So that's why I do that in certain cases, okay? Again, sometimes it's different when you're jamming in your bedroom. You're like, well, that sounds beefier. Okay, well, of course, do that. But then when you start putting things in the full mix, when you start recording your own riffs and such and adding drums and bass and multiple guitars, you find out sometimes less actually sounds a little bit better and tighter. So in any case, we're hitting that power chord, then we hit it one more time, then we go to that little gallop, that alternate picking on the one string. So it's like this. Then we go to the B flat power chord, the variation of that power chord, but right before I go to that, and we're going to throw up the tabs in a second here, right before I go to that, I sneak in another little gallop. So listen to this one more time. Okay, pretty cool. I wanted just to explain these things real quick before we actually go into playing this. So let me throw up the tabs just for this part. Let's go over this a few times together. Now, the next part of this riff, we start out the same way with that A power chord and, of course, galloping that open A string, but then we go to a series of power chords and or variation of power chords. Listen to this. This is part 2 of the riff. A couple of things I want to point out before we throw the tabs up, because again, pretty simple. We're just playing a few power chords. Number one, I'm playing a variation of some of these power chords. So when we go to that F power chord, well, that's just an F power chord. But then we go to the E power chord, I change it to a little variation. Same thing for the G. So watch the power chords. Okay, so again, F power chord, but then when I go to the E power chord, we're not playing the open E in 2nd fret of the A string, we're playing the open E in 3rd fret of the A string. The G variation. We're not playing 3 and 5 on the E and A strings, we're playing 3 and 2, just like you play a G chord there, just those first 2 notes though. So again, now the other little thing, and these are these little things that I get excited about when you're writing your own metal riffs, because you throw these in here, right? So we're actually palm muting that open E string in between those power chords. It kind of gives you like a little landing pad and kind of like a starter point again. It just kind of stops everything and then restarts it, if that makes sense. It's like the little bridge, slight little bridge in between these power chords, but I think these kind of things really bring the riff to life. So let's throw up the tabs for just this one part here, okay? We'll play through this a few times. Now, part 3 of this riff, we actually go back to where we started. So part 1 and part 3, they're basically the same. So let me play the riff all the way through here so you can hear how it sounds in context, and then we'll go over the final piece. We actually go to a C, then a B flat, and that's how we end it. So the C, we're not really playing power chords. Instead, we're going to do something different. And this is another little thing that I want you to remember when writing your own riffs. Actually, there are 2 little things you're going to hear. So number 1, we got away from just the power chords. Instead, we're arpeggiating these notes. So like this. Letting some of those notes ring out a little bit. Of course, I didn't do the little hammer on pull off. We're about to get to that, but that's the other little nuance here, little caveat to this riff. We're not just playing power chords, we're arpeggiating some notes, and we're not just playing chords with notes. We're throwing in a little hammer on pull off riff. So let me play this part through. We'll break this down and we'll throw the tabs up. Okay, so we'll break this in half. For the C, I'm playing it almost like you would just play a C chord, how you would start just a regular C chord. A and D strings, frets 3 and 2, and then that G string, we're going to play that as well. That's going to be open. So I'm just arpeggiating a few of those notes, just like this. Then we're going to do the hammer on pull off all on the D string. And we're going to start with 3, 2, then 3, 2, and pull off to 0. And you will get some string noise if you're not careful. However, how we defeat the string noise in this case is we're going straight to a variation of the B flat chord. And we're going to arpeggiate some notes there as well. So that, going straight from that hammer on pull off to the open string, we go straight into that next chord. That helps alleviate or eliminate any string noise, okay? So again, and again, we just arpeggiate a few notes there. We go back and forth a little. So what I'll do is I'll throw up the tabs so we can play through this part a few times and you can see what's going on. All right, now it is time for you and I to play this all the way through. I'll put the tabs up as we play along. So let's go through this a couple of times, the entire riff. Now, I want you to take these little techniques that we threw into this riff, and I want you to start thinking about adding these to your own riffs. Maybe you've got this really cool power chord progression that you're going through, but you're like, I'd like to add something to that. Well, why not throw in a little hammer-on pull-off here and there like we did in this lesson? Or you've got these palm mutes that are happening between single note riffs or something like that, and you're feeling something else. Well, try throwing in these little gallops, those little 1, 2, 3s that we did in this riff. Now, I mentioned early in the video, if you're part of the Jason Stallworth Guitar Academy, you get the tabs and the backing tracks for all of my lessons like these, and of course you get access to all of my online courses and more. So I do have a link in the description to learn more about that. Thanks for watching another riff lesson here. I appreciate the support. As always, keep it metal and keep playing music.